many people didn't know much about China back then, so I think it was a big surprise to people how varied China was in both its landscape and its people, and that it also had a lot of modern qualities about it. The other shocking thing to many people was the 20-minute scene at the end of the film, which was the bombing of Chongqing. And at the time, bombing of civilians during wartime wasn't common. And to have this shown to audiences in color, it was quite shocking, and all of the reviews mentioned that this here was proof or exhibit of people under extreme wartime conditions in color by someone who was on the ground with those people. And so that was what really, I think, gave KUKAN a lot of press and attention at the time.
Lon is a fourth-generation Chinese immigrant in the United States. As an independent filmmaker, she started looking for stories of Chinese Hawaiian women 6 years ago. WWII and her KUKAN aroused her interest. Unfortunately, the original copy of KUKAN was damaged. To bring the documentary back into life and to bring the stories of the uncredited female producer to the public, Lon started to make the documentary of Finding KUKAN.
Besides telling WWII's story, I feel obligated to also bring back KUKAN to public awareness because it has such historic importance, and not just for film history, but for history in general, to bring Americans to learn about the U.S.-China relationship. We were allies in World War II. China and the United States have a long history of friendly relationships. We have a lot in common. I think that's one of the reasons why I really am obsessed about getting KUKAN back into the public, and I've worked really hard to try to get it restored and to get it into the proper hands so people can see it.
Finding KUKAN is a story that is unfolding before our very eyes because Robin's been working on it for so long, and we've been working on this together for so long. We didn't know how it was going to end when we started making the film. So we've had to kind of ride those waves, those twists and turns of the story, while at the same time shaping the material and trying to make the best film that we can make.
From 2010, Robin and Shirley have been working together to restore KUKAN. They found the photographer Scott's descendants and producer Lee's family after a long time research.
I know that I have been really touched by the stories that I have learned about China and Chinese people through the work I've done on the documentary Finding KUKAN. And I know that that those stories need to be passed on for the people who have lived it, so that they can experience those stories and have their own stories be validated. And also, I believe that they need to be passed on to the next generation, so that the next generation knows and understands where they come from. And that this story of WWII, the story of KUKAN, is also, it's theirs. It's part of their story too. It's part of their history as well.